Hi, guys. GM, GN.
Good morning.
I'm Susie from Linea, and this is Eric and Trantor from Nile. Hi, guys.
Hey, all. GMGA, welcome. Welcome back to the sequencer.
Good
to have you, Trantor.
Thank you.
We've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I feel like my face is really big. I'm going to try to scoot back if that's okay. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Trantor from Nile is here. As you know, Nile is Linea's metadex, and liquidity flows on the Nile, as we love to say. We're going to talk to a few things that are in the news. And then after that, we are going to actually introduce a new meme that's launching now, today, during this live stream, which will be so fun. So they're here. Pond.fun is here. And then after that, at the end, we're going to have a really interesting discussion on the future of AI and the DeepSeek news, which I'm most excited about.
Sweet. So excited.
All right, Eric, let's kick us off. What's happened in the news this week that was exciting?
Well, I feel like the last 2 weeks, we've been thinking of them as the first couple of weeks of the Trump administration, but I think for a lot of other folks, it's been the first 2 weeks of Trump coin has probably more dominated the mind share for folks in our world, including definitely over at Nile. Trantor, you guys and some other folks like really swung into action really quick after Trump coin went bananas. The weekend before inauguration, and you've brought Trump coin to Linea, and it's flowing on Nile. So, like, kind of tell us a little bit, like how that worked out really quick, and then what's been going on this week. Give us an update over the last couple of days.
Sure. So, look, to be honest, it's more about the infrastructure behind it. So the coin itself has for sure taken everybody by storm, probably because of its enormous valuation straight up and the huge trading volume. But what's key is that, and I talked about this on a live stream a little while ago, is just how effortless, I guess, it is now for users to be able to bridge between a number of different chains. In particular, if you want to go from Solana or if you want to go from Avalanche, to come across to Linea to trade specific tokens. And so the Trump token, this was enabled by Ambient and then Stargate. By those guys setting this up for us at Linea, we're now one of very few chains, really anywhere, of only at L2s, that you can bridge your Trump coin across from anywhere and then start using it or farming it, in particular on the Nile. So that's what's interesting. The coin itself, don't get me wrong, it hasn't really deployed officially from the Trump team outside of Solana yet. But what it means is that those who are EVM chain, those who like Ethereum, like us and Linea, if you want to be involved in speculating or providing liquidity, you can now do that without having to jump across to Solana or having to go to Avalanche, for example. So a real opportunity. Of course, for the kingdom, more broadly, you can still trade on an Avalanche on Pharaoh as well. But look, great opportunity if you are so inclined to go there. Obviously, for a DEX, what we're excited about is volume, because the more volume you see, the healthier the chain is. So we're happy to bring and to support any coin that wants to come across, in particular that brings eyeballs and, more importantly, brings volume to Linea. That stuff's just good for the ecosystem and good for everybody, regardless really of any of the background stories behind the actual coin itself. And don't get me wrong, I'm not promoting rugs, but what I am suggesting is that what brings volume and what brings eyeballs is good for Linea. So I think that's what's happening at the moment. And Nile's ready to go. The pool remains small, but the APRs are also quite high at the moment. So there you are. That's the Trump coin.
They are very
nice.
Yeah.
And we've kind of been talking behind the scenes here at the sequencer offline. I mean, technically everything you just ran through, and in terms of kind of the way the liquidity is flowing and the cross-chain aspects of it are super fascinating, but you can't really avoid some of the non-chain related aspects of the story in terms of like what this means for memes, for meme coins. And Susie, you and I and Joe, our producer, were talking earlier this week, like, is this a potential rug eventually, or is this like a revolution in how we do politics and how we do memes and how we communicate those things? And what's funny is, like, I think Susie, you and I might disagree a little bit, but like after that conversation, I kind of realized, like, you know what? Actually, all that's yes. This is what this actually is the second most successful celebrity meme coin ever. Like, that is actually what's going. The number one being, I'm counting the number one as Dogecoin, as Elon's.
Yeah, it's probably fair. Yeah, it's really fair. Yeah.
So like like putting the politics aside, like that's actually what's going on. This is a celebrity meme coin. What do you think of that take?
Well, I think it's dead right. And I don't want to cut you off, Susie, but the opportunity now to go, like memes in particular, the whole purpose of them was you couldn't calculate the utility, right? So that was always the point. So you can't put a metric on its value. When you start talking celebrity, well, what's the value of celebrity face endorsement officialness? I don't know. And I mean, I guess the point is at the moment that when it's done a certain way, it can be pretty darn high, and that's what the Trump coin made it pretty clear, right? It can be a really high valuation, but also some of the danger, of course, was that the Trump coin came in and then took the air out of so many other memes in other places, in particular on Solana. Just all the liquidity sort of sucked back into that particular meme. But a lot of the work Chris has been doing here on Linea has really highlighted, and I don't want to sound a little bit too corny here, but to the Frog Bros, the Croak and Frog guys and the Foxy, the Frog, whatever that is.
Lots of
there's too much going on,
comments.
too many things. But for the Foxes and the Frogs in the audience, like these are real loyal communities. And Trump coin launches, and they don't all dump, go to Solana. It stays the same and keeps growing, and the community's still growing. So I think there's memes, and then there's sort of healthy memes and community. And that's what I've enjoyed seeing about it, because bridging those two, meme on its own can be pure speculation. Meme with community is what the meme is supposed to be. What does that mean? But like, that's what it's about. That's what means it has legs, right? So I don't know. I'm not in any Trump Telegram groups for the coin or anything, but I do see the Foxy Telegram groups, and I do see the Croak ones or the Linea ones. And again, it's engaged communities, and I have to keep it muted because there's 3,000 messages a night. So, these are a lot of things going on in those communities. So I think it's good to see. And, Eric, you talked a little bit about it as well, but like, how much more does this legitimize the meme space and get mainstream people and retail back into crypto and back into speculating? I don't know, but it's got to do something, right? I mean, a lot of people and a lot of eyeballs came onto that coin. So it seems to make sense.
It kind of reminds me also of like Friend Tech or Tomo, which is like the Friend Tech version of that's on Linea, where you can buy like shares of people. It's like you're buying like shares of your friend. I feel like this is like a simplified version where you just like buy a token that represents someone, but I feel like it's kind of like a Friend Tech version, but not. I think, Eric, what you said in the beginning, you're like, is this a meme token? Is this a political thing? We don't have to put in a category. It can be all those things at once. Right?
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Crypto, the greatest show on earth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really interested to see what it is like 30 days from now. That's what I'm watching.
Huge reminder. Anyone who owns the Trump token, 30 days from launch, remember the Trump team owns 80% of the token. So they have a 30-day cliff. Is that what it's called? Like cliff? It's like an investment period. After 30 days, they are allowed to sell their tokens, and they own 80% of the tokens. So will they hold on to them? Will they just dump them and, tank the valuation? I don't know, but please be aware in 30 days from launch of that date. I don't know what that date is. Joe, if you know what the date is, put it up on here so everyone knows, but please be aware of that date. Stick it on your calendar if you own some Trump. Yeah.
More volatility. That's what we're all about, right? Volatility. So that's great.
Just riding the ride. Woo!
Exactly right. So the waves
I'm
work.
never sure if we're ticking up or like screaming down. Maybe a little bit of both. It's like every day. Okay, what else is happening? Give us some hot trends. Like, I don't live in liquidity pools, like I don't know what's happening. And I have my ETH, I have my Bitcoin, I got a couple of memes. Like, tell us what's hot right now, Tranter. What kind of trends are you seeing?
Okay, so yeah, good points. So I think across Linea, trades are still looking pretty solid on all dexes, to be honest with you. Nile in particular, we're looking good on ETH USDC pairs, as well as the meme pairs. They're doing very well. Once again, another shout out to Foxy and Croak for their pairs. A lot of the different pond.fund graduates, it's probably the easiest ones, those who were tadpoles and have now become small frogs and left the pond. And Sharma can correct me where my story sucked there. Most of those are doing quite well as well. So they're deepening their liquidity. They're getting involved in the incentive game, which makes a lot of sense at the moment. So, I promised I wouldn't shill Nile, but, hold me back, right?
Nile's good.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree more.
There's a reason Consensus invested in you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what's happening is that each of these pond graduates, as they come out, these small frogs, they're they're throwing incentives at their pools to deepen their liquidity, and the efficiency at the moment is like 2.5 to 1. So for every buck they're putting in I don't know, whatever coin you want to go with, if it's Beaver or if it's Croak or whatever, they're getting 2.5 or 2.4 worth of emissions back to the pool. So it's highly profitable for them to do that at the moment, and very good for LPs as well, of course, because you're able to get into the pool and earn a lot more with how much everyone's getting involved in the pools themselves. So quite a lot going on there. The Foxy pools are doing very well, again, high volume in particular. So those are, again, of those who want to speculate in that area. And then from a Nile perspective, the Foxy pool continues to grow, and we're very happy to see that continue to grow and continue user interest. Yeah, exactly. A lot of good stuff there. In other areas, we're trying to see a little bit more in terms of some of the big ETH staking pools. So LRTs and LSTs come across. I don't want to get too boring.
Yeah, let's not go too into the pools too much.
No, exactly. So I won't get too much. Yeah.
Okay.
But sorry, I'll close that out. We just want to see more
out.
of them coming, because the more we can see more of them, the more they link to Zero Lend, the more we see more health and big eyeballs. And that's what it's all about, right? We want to see big health and big eyeballs, and that's the kind of stuff that we want to see come across to Linea. So there you go. Sorry, I know I got
makes sense.
got too excited.
No, it's okay. You're passionate. We love the passion.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have two other news things. We'll do that. We don't want to save the bad one for last. So let's talk
positive
about
sandwich.
Yeah, positive sandwich. We're gonna hug out the bad one. Hug it out.
Mm-hmm.
So Bagful.io. Eric, you lost some money. I'm smiling because I'm awkward. I'm not smiling because hey, you lost money. I'm just like, oh no one likes to talk about this, but we do want to address it because it did happen at the community. So let's just give people 90 seconds and then we'll move on to other fun stuff.
Yeah. So over the weekend, Bagful.io appeared to disappear from socials and the internet. And I have some small bags. I'm telling myself they're just locked up for a really long time because I can still see.
Yeah, they're on BBank still, aren't they?
Locked. Yeah, they're still there, still locked in the contract. And kind of just wanted to let the community know, this happens to all of us, including me. I work for Linea, and it sucks to get rugged. Have been talking with our security folks at Consensus, and it's kind of bleak. I have been speaking with some folks about how we can maybe increase community involvement in doing some on-chain investigations, that sort of thing, so we can police our own beat a little bit better as a chain. There's some other internal conversations going on about what we can learn from this. But more than anything, wanted to shout out Nile and the folks at Croak who were able to make the holders of those tokens on Bagful whole. So big thanks to you guys.
Thanks,
and just be very careful out there. Do your research. Be skeptical more than myself. Keep fighting the war. Sometimes you lose the battle.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sucks. And thank you again to Nile and Croak. Okay, the last thing, we have 3 minutes left before we need to move on to our token that's launching, the meme coin that's launching. The last thing is Etherealize has come up a lot on socials. Trantor, give us a 30-second overview on Etherealize. What is it? Are people hyped about it? I actually have very little information.
So I think what you've just said there, that last part, I have very little information, is kind of the vibe across all of crypto Twitter now, to be honest. So look, I'm looking forward to learning more myself as I hear more. But I mean, so the Ethereum Foundation, they've come under a lot of fire in the last, month and a half, I suppose, as people watch relatively Solana take such a huge chunk of mind share. And I think the Trump coin really accentuated that when people are seeing, 10 billion in volume and going, why isn't it coming to Ethereum? And I think that's perfectly justified. The Ethereum Foundation sits where it does for broader sort of guidance, and Vitalik provides his sort of larger level CEO type views. But the concern was okay, who's pushing Ethereum from a marketing and business development perspective? There's so many L2s. It's well and good to say we're decentralized, but you need to have a leader or somebody who's going to push things forward, right? And so what's happening now is trending terms, and I know Joe Lubin's getting involved, and Consensus is heavily involved too, in this Etherealize campaign, or believe in something with ETH accentuated. You can see that in some of the chats.
Thanks, Future Club.
That's what's trending, and it's doing great stuff because it's starting to bring eyeballs back. there's two things I would say. First is like it's always darkest before the dawn, to use a quote, a terrible, corny line there. But people get most upset about Ethereum just before Ethereum does something. You know what I mean? It's like we were at max bearishness 2 weeks ago, and ETH ain't going anywhere. Second part is Etherealized.io is a group who have come together and said they want to really push a lot of the marketing and bringing dApps together across L2s. So again, they're made up of some real powerhouses, and Consensus is very well connected to that group who are looking to do that on behalf of Ethereum. So those linkages, a lot of those are sort of behind closed door linkages at the moment, not because they're super secret and shady, but because there are things that are still being worked out. There's a lot of L2s, a lot of interested parties. But what is key is for us on Linea, Base is cool, sure, love Base, but I like Linea more. And I want to see Linea get a larger piece of that pie across the L2 space, in particular as we start moving infrastructure and things forward. So I guess the talk is, I'll keep you updated, I don't know.
Users.
Exactly.
Oh, we used to onboard
So
new users, so we can't keep fighting, guys. I don't want to keep, like the liquidity just gets passed around. We just got to get more users on. Maybe memes will do it. Maybe
it's musical chairs, right? If we can just keep people moving around until the buck stops and the music stops in Linea, then they get to play. They play here a little bit longer. Who knows, right? So
maybe
I'm hoping you use that correctly there, because they don't want them to, you don't want the buck to stop necessarily, but you get the idea. Okay. But I guess Etherealized is happening. We'll see in the next little while. Keep an eye out on Twitter. There's some exciting stuff developing, I think. I don't know how it's going to play, but you couldn't be better placed with Consensus and Linea together. So I guess that's
I hope they bring the vibes. That's like the one thing. It's like people are like, Ethereum is like, it's not vibey. You know what I mean? It feels very like Microsoft, like, I don't know. You remember those Microsoft versus a PC commercial? Like, I'm a PC, like I'm a Mac, Justin Long was the Mac. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's that. And like, we're like the dorky guy, So Ethereum needs to bring the vibe. So maybe Etherealize will. If not, maybe we could do something with him.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with serious money, because Etherealize is partnering with Wall Street. That's the key part. I prefer Wall Street money than too much, what is it, pump.fund with 20,000 tokens a minute or whatever they're launching at the moment. I prefer serious investors, but
we can be serious and fun.
Of course.
The other. Yeah.
Like this live stream, right? Serious but fun.
So
right?
serious? Yeah. Okay. Great update. We're going to move on to the next segment. Trantor, namaste. Thank you for coming.
It's been real. Thank you very much, guys.
Great update.
Thanks, Trantor.
Cheers.
Man, I hope they bring the vibes. I'm a little nervous. Etherealize. Will it materialize?
Oh, you know what? I think that says it all. I think there's, mic drop. You picked up the entire laptop and threw it.
Cane myself off of the. I don't know.
I think there's going to be, Etherealize is great. I think there will be more and more exciting things to come in the following months as well. I would say stay tuned.
It's always darkness before the dawn. Isn't that? What's her name? Florence and the Machine. It's always darkest before. Anyways, give it up. You know the song. Okay, let's bring out a new. Let's move on. Let's move on to the new thing. We are bringing on a new meme who is launching. He's actually going to launch on this live stream, which I love a live launch because it's fun. This is not investment advice. We are not telling you to invest in Gamer on Share, but we're bringing him on because he has a totally different mission. So about what he's doing. I don't think, Eric, you know what he's doing, but we'll let him know.
Yeah.
So let's bring on Gamer on Share. And also Shama from Pond.fun is here because he's a friend of the live stream. He's a friend of the Linea.
Oh, fam.
That's not, yeah. We're going to kick chefs off. There we go. We're going to bring on a Gamer on Share. Hey, Shama. Lovely to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to listen to you guys. It's good. Good news. Good news on chain.
Yes. So Shama is ahead of eFrogs, Froglets, Croak, and now Pond.fun. He's an absolute legend, community builder. We love him. He's amazing IRL as he is not IRL. So Shama. It looks like we've lost Gamer on Share. So let's see if he's
busy launching tokens.
Yeah, he launched the token already. Actually, he launched the token.
Can you imagine? He just doesn't
And
show up for Zone.
yeah, he launched the token, and I'm dealing with my dev to make sure the scam tokens are hiding. Yeah, hiding from the screen, etc. So yeah, but he's doing very well. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. So
He is a good guy. Let's see if if he can't come on. We'll just go to the Shaman. We might kick you off and have our AI discussion first, so we don't
Yeah,
just have to like,
sure.
sit here and wait. So yeah, let's do that. We'll wait for him to get back on. He says his internet's really crappy.
Sure.
So we're gonna kick Shaman. Oh, there he is!
Oh,
Whoa, we were about to kick
Hear
everyone
him,
off.
hear him.
What's
Can
up?
you hear
Nice to
me?
have you.
I
You
reset
almost
everything
missed your
and
own token launch. Can you imagine?
craziness. Craziness.
uh-oh.
Okay.
But we are live.
Yeah.
We are live.
On Pod.fun?
Everything's happening. I shared everything on our official X, in our Telegram,
He keeps cutting out.
and someone gave me some. Yeah,
Okay, Gamer on
Showed
Chair, your internet still sucks.
yeah, everything
We
works
can't-
from their side. Thanks a lot.
Uh-oh.
Well,
The robots have taken over.
yeah, the robots, the ticka ticka, you know?
Well,
Gamer on Chair.
he's a legend without legs.
Okay, we want to hear about the reason we're having you on is because I know you're a really small project. You're just launching a token, right? You're not that famous yet. Talk to us about like the mission of Gamer on Chair. Because when I talked to you, I was like, this is so cool and different that people should like maybe hear about it. So talk to us about what Gamer on Chair is. And if you can't get your internet to work, I'll just tell everyone what it is. Because I know what it is. So can you explain it? No.
No.
Okay. We're just going to explain it for him unless he can cut back in. So Gamer on Chair. Gamer on Chair is a meme token that aims to get the next it aims to get the continent of Africa. So Gamer on Chair is an African-based meme. And Gamer on Chair is like something that like
Hey,
parents
guys.
will say to their
Sorry for this,
oh hey, he's back.
but we're throwing on the other side.
This is bad. Okay, I'm still just gonna explain it. Okay, so he's trying to get
Yeah,
the
sorry
next-
guys. Continue.
That's okay. I'm just gonna pitch it for you, and then you can cut it off. Okay. So Gamer on Chair is African-based meme, and they're launching. Their goal is to get the next like generation of Web3 users on to Web3 through through gaming. I always say Web2 gaming. That's so dumb. Like it's just regular gaming. And Gamer on Chair is like something that like like your parents will say, like if you're at home, like I know in Australia they call people like sweats, like when they're gaming in their chair, they're like, oh, he's a sweats, you know? It's like the same thing. They'll be like, oh, Gamer on Chair. It's like it's not like a diss, but they say it as like, oh, look at that guy, like, like sitting there playing video games. So it's kind of like owning the parental diss, you know? You know what I'm saying? So he's basically like, yeah, go ahead, Eric. I'll shut up.
Is this like the contemporary version of being pwned or pawned or like? Wow, I'm like not only showing my age right now, but I'm not even remembering. So it's like
Pogs? Are you saying Pogs? I know what Pogs are. Pawn? No, it's like
being
that.
owned.
It's like
Being
like
owned.
yeah, you're like owning the not the insult, but like you've never heard sweats? Oh, people are like, I'm Australian, I've never heard sweats. Okay. Literally, I listened to a podcast with a tennis player who's like really controversial because he's like doesn't like tennis, but he's really good at it and he loves video games and he called himself Sweats. So if I'm not saying sweats right, then like fuck that guy, it's his fault. That's what he told me on a podcast.
So much right now.
Anyway,
Learning everything.
so we are launching the coin. Shamit, is Pond.fun? Do you see Gamer on Chair? So that's the whole goal. It's like owning the diss from your parents. Like, oh, look at that lazy gamer. Look at the gamer on the chair. And his goal is to rally like African gamers to play more Web3 games and to say like, hey, Web3 games are actually fun. Web3 games are just games. They're not like, they don't have to be put in a category. So he's launching like a meme as a way to like, take that common phrase that people know and like galvanize people around it. And that's the mission, which I thought was really cool. And they have a whole roadmap, which I can't share because I actually don't know the whole roadmap, but that's what I remember from it. Are they?
Yeah, he launched. Yeah, it's live. It's live. It's live. It's yeah. People is talking. They're talking in the comments. Is this the real? Is this the real coin or not? It's super funny. Super funny.
Gamer on chair. Yeah, I don't know if Joe, our producer, can like put up an image of what it looks like so we know which one it is because we don't want copycat ones. But
yeah, well, we need the all users to go to Twitter and check the address from the official.
Yes.
That will be the best. That will be the best.
I will. I'll share my screen so you guys can see Gamer on Chair really quick. But hold on. This is the one. This is the one. Gamer on Chair.
The ticker symbol
is
G chair. G chair on pond.fun.
Yeah. Gamer on Chair. This is the symbol. I love how it's like he went into paint. It looks like he went into paint and drew this. Reminds me of using Notion, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, so he's taking advantage of the 5 USDT fee for launch this week.
Yes,
which is fantastic. So very good timing. He saved some Ethereum today.
Yeah, it's only $5 to launch a token today. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Gamer on Chair, super cool mission. If you're interested in that, if you want to galvanize like African gamers and bring them to Web3, I don't know, it's kind of a cool mission. This is not investment advice, but this is what it is. And again, Pond.fun, $5 to launch a meme coin this week. I love that. It's cheap. So cheap. I think that's it.
Yeah, Susie, so if you want to share the, well, I don't know if you can actually, but you shared already the official Twitter. That's enough.
Yeah, I'll send the official Twitter right here. Gamer on Chair. Joe, if you can put this in the thing. Cool. All right. I think that's it then. Sorry, Gamer on Chair, that your internet sucks. Shama, thanks for coming and repping Pond.fun. Sorry, you just had to listen to me talk about it. Hopefully I got it right. Or else I'm misrepresenting. But always good to see you, Shama. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. No problem.
Thanks a lot.
Always happy to be here.
G-chair, y'all. G-chair.
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 G-chair for life. Cool. Yeah, $, G-chair. Cool. Okay. We had to cut that off. Let's bring on our last.
We have Degens? Yes.
Yeah, Degens is coming. Shama, we're going to kick you off. Joe, kick Shama off.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I hope that works.
I think that should be a thing. We're very abrupt and rude with all guests.
I know.
Like literally kick them off.
Get the fuck out of here. You know what I hate is like when you have a live stream and there's like 15 people and I'm like, this is not going to work. So I just want to like kick people off, but he gets it. We're friends. It's fine. We're all good.
Like our pre-show, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Last thing. Eric, intro. Sorry. I'll shut up. I got to stop talking.
No, that's all right. Chef is here. And we've got Chef from Degens.ai to talk about the DeepSeek news and its impact on AI and Web3. And first, do we want to talk a little bit about what Degens.ai is? Do a really quick intro?
Yeah. Hey, Susie. Hi, Eric. Hey. Great to be here. So good to do a quick intro about Degens.ai. We are planning to build the AI agent hub on Linea. We are a team of AI crypto enthusiasts. We've been building stuff at the intersection of AI and crypto. And we feel there's a lot of exciting things that we can build on Linea. To start off, I think Degens.ai is going to be like an AI agent launchpad, and it's going to be a AI agent hub on Linea. We are also building some interesting frameworks. If you look at what's happening around AI agents and AI crypto, I think we're seeing emergence of interesting frameworks. We're seeing interesting frameworks like Elisa OS on Solana. We've seen virtuals on Base. And this work is pretty early. Of course, AI agents on crypto are quite early at this point, but a lot of interesting teams are working on it. We would like to be one of the teams that can push the boundaries around convergence of AI and crypto. Last couple of weeks have been very interesting for everyone in the AI space. DeepSeek has launched its model. It has made waves around the industry. Of course, the perspectives have been divided into. I mean, I could summarize it as two kind of perspectives emerging out of it. But
let's
yeah,
like
happy
pause for
to.
1 second. Let's like talk about DeepSeek. So give us like Eric. I know that you were a journalist. You did like Tesla launches, SpaceX launches. Tell us like what happened. Like what was the news? I'm sure everyone saw it, but like what's the recap? Like it got it announced. What was the announcement? What happened after that?
Yeah, so the TLDR, earlier this week I posted a Twitter poll, like what happened to the where's all the FUD in the Twitter in the crypto market coming from this week? And because one thing definitely seemed to be DeepSeek, and that actually did win the Twitter poll. That's what most people think has kind of led to this malaise over the last week. So what happened is, I believe it was on Inauguration Day, DeepSeek, which is a open source, and it's not actually fully open source, but the weights are open, semi-open source AI model came out, and the developer, and it's based out of China, a startup out of China called I don't remember, like In Flight, something Flight. Somebody can post that in the chat and remind me. But so the TLDR is allegedly it was developed and trained for like 1% of what OpenAI spends. Like the initial number was 5 to 6 million, which is insane.
5 to 6
And they
million
also
what?
published
Like dollars
spent.
spent?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they also, which is like, I mean, billions are being spent
Peanuts.
by US AI companies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I think
peanuts.
it's like
And suppose
$800,000 a day to. I think the
is
cost
it?
to run ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like 800,000. I don't know, Chef, if that's right, but I think it's around like 800 grand a day they burn just to run it. Like
That's
in
crazy.
costs. Is that right?
So
Hopefully it's not fake
Yeah,
news.
billions.
I don't know if that's right.
They claim billions in training, right? So
Yeah.
for sure.
So long and short, supposedly DeepSeek was developed for far less than other AI models around the world, and is also a lot more efficient. And they published some papers to kind of demonstrate this out. And then there's been a bit of a backlash where some people are saying like,
Wait,
5 million,
time
no
out.
way.
Time out. Yeah, when that happened, I talked to Chef about this. Chef, what did you say when you heard that news and they're like, "Oh yeah, we developed this for like $5 million and it's like the same." What did you think?
Yeah, so we're seeing divided perspectives in the AI world, right? So I can offer my perspective as a builder in the AI world. The first perspective is people say no way it costs $5 to $6 million to make a foundation model to rival OpenAI's O1. There's also what we've also seen is how the markets have reacted after this news. So it's more or less, I think we've seen a heavy correction in the valuations of AI companies in the US. So you could also look at it. So one camp feels it's like an economic attack on the inflated valuations around AI companies in the US, because it's not only about how the model is released and how it works. It's also about the timing of the release and what happened following on after the press release and everything, and especially around costs and stuff that got revealed much ahead of how the model is performing and stuff before we could actually evaluate it deeply. So one camp feels no way it costs $5 to $6 million to make this model, and look at it like an economic attack. And the focus is around US versus China in the AI race. But there's also another perspective that's emerging. As you look at the technical white paper, you could also look at it this way, right? So here's a team that had limited access to GPUs compared to everyone else in the US. Of course, you are aware of the fact that a lot of teams in China don't have the same level of access as top AI companies in the US. Because US also has a say in how GPU supply chain works. So definitely there are also some positives around DeepSeek. So the way they have actually launched this with limited resources. So one camp feels like necessity is the mother of innovation. They have done pretty interesting stuff around how they have launched it as well. Of course, I mean, you could also argue about the cost and everything, but that put aside, you could also look at it as a black swan event in AI for two particular reasons. I think one is, um, look at the perspective of how OpenAI was talking about, right? I think a year ago, I remember Sam Altman quoting, basically, I think he was talking about how it's kind of hopeless for small teams with limited access to resources and funding to compete with OpenAI. I think after DeepSeek, that perspective is going to change, which is actually interesting. And open source, right? Yeah, I mean, you can still argue about how open it is, but still an open source model compared to OpenAI's closed source model, which is
Yeah.
also very interesting. So these are two perspectives. I would like to move into what it actually means for builders in AI crypto, because that's potentially the focus of what we're doing, how
Before you
AI
get
can
there.
come on chain.
Yeah, before you get there, because you said a lot of stuff. We're going to try to make this conversational, right? So you're basically saying, like, Eric, I don't know, you can interrupt me also. So, like, there's like, when I heard that news, I was like, bullshit. That's the first thing I thought, right? Because he was like, oh, we made this thing, and like,
About
we're
the
not using that
cost?
many GPUs.
About
No,
about
about
what
like,
part?
oh, we're not
The whole-
using that many chips and stuff. Like the whole thing. I was like, no fucking way. It's not possible. It's not possible. And I think
So
it
I mean,
turned out that it go. Yeah. Go. I want to argue
well,
about it. I want to like talk about it.
I feel like they've released, and I don't know for sure. So you tell me, Chef. But I feel like they've released enough information publicly that you can prove out a lot of the technical claims. So if it's BS, it can be debunked. The one thing I think I might agree with you with is the expenditure and the amount spent on it. Like that is like hard to prove, and like they could definitely be BSing the world about that. But what about the rest, Chef?
Yeah. Was it
It's
true?
quite opaque, to be honest, because we don't know how they have actually access to. So few argue in the AI world that they did have access to a lot of NVIDIA H100s or equivalent of that, but we don't know how. So it's very hard to argue about the cost, and also it's not the cost of. So when you say cost, it's not the cost of running the startup that they were actually talking about. It's the technical cost of training is what they're talking about. So it's quite
Yeah.
opaque there. So we don't know whether those are true or not. But yeah, again, it's arguable. I don't think it would have cost that less if it did, but the markets definitely believe so. The markets reacted to that particular cost part. If you see, that's where you see a lot of AI stocks going down. Yeah, it is arguable. We never know unless we are the team that's working behind DeepSeek.
Yeah. I think what you said it also was good. You were like, this feels like a court. When we talked, you mentioned a little bit on this time, but when we talked before this call, you were like, this feels like a coordinated attack. And like, I also felt like it was a coordinated attack, but it was like really smart. Like, I'm not like, China. I'm like, hey, China, like, that was pretty good. That was good timing, like the stock plummeted. And I actually was like, I'm going to buy more NVIDIA stock now. Like, I'm going to buy it when it's low. Because I
Still
was like
not investment advice.
convinced.
Yeah.
Yeah, not investment advice.
Yeah.
Don't do what I do. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is bullshit. And the stock tank. And I was like, I'm gonna like get more NVIDIA stock because I just wasn't
NVIDIA is surprising because even if what DeepSeek claims about the cost is true, it would only encourage people to build more such models, and that's only going to drive more computational demand. So I still don't see why markets reacted that way with NVIDIA, but probably
just
they
fear.
are correlating that to how people are going to spend on computational costs moving forward, or they're going to be more conservative. Probably that's why the markets reacted. But I think, I think NVIDIA is still good. They're much ahead in terms of the chips they have. So there's AI is quite hard. It's going to go back, I guess.
And you said it was a black swan moment, which what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Yeah, I feel it is a black swan moment because first, I think moving on to like why it is from an AI crypto perspective, right? So one, if you look at GPU supply chain, right? I think GPU supply chain is broken because it's centralized. And this is one of the biggest areas of AI crypto, right? So we are talking for a while that DeepIn is going to change this. We have seen a bunch of decentralized GPU networks and platforms that are yet to prove their reliability. Of course, as an AI crypto builder myself, I've used a bunch of these networks. They're still not up to mark for scaling, but from a narrative perspective, you could look at it as GPU supply chain is broken. It's currently centralized. It's being controlled by few nation states and nation players. And this is a huge opportunity for AI crypto players. The first big opportunity, right? And two,
Yeah.
open source models are going to rival centralized models. And this probably is a start of that trend. And crypto has a potential role to play in accelerating this innovation because open source models can actually get accelerated faster with crypto economics in place, which is another huge opportunity for builders and the convergence of AI crypto. And three, on top of this open decentralized infra, see, AI agents are coming, right? AI agents are going to abstract user experience both at a Web 2 and a Web 3 level. Now the choice is two. So are you going to build AI agents on the centralized infrastructure, or will decentralized infrastructure catch up for you to build AI agents on a decentralized infrastructure? That means you need to have a stack at an GPU infra level to be decentralized. You need crypto economics to actually allow people to contribute data to open source models. Open source models are going to be should become much more transparent, just like how, I mean, if I draw an analogy, just like how we had an argument that private blockchains are going to completely take over the world at one point, but they didn't, right? We've seen the growth of public blockchains. I think moving forward from 2016, 17 to 2024, now nobody uses private blockchains, right? I I would like to see whether that would happen or not is arguable, but I would like to see open source AI models do that, just like what public blockchains did to private blockchains. I would like open source AI models to do that to closed source AI models, because today closed source AI models take your data, quite opaque about how they train the models. In fact, many creators complain that their IP has been stolen by closed source models and they don't even get compensated. So there's a broken economic flywheel at a closed AI model level. That should change. Whether it would or not is arguable, but that's a huge opportunity for AI crypto builders. Now, if this infrastructure gets decentralized, anybody would want their AI agents to be on this infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Which is a huge opportunity again for chains. And that's what I would like to focus on at Degens, and even bring back that conversation to Linea. So I would like to see Linea as a home for these decentralized AI agents, right? That's our mission, vision at building this project, Degens.ai. We're yet to reveal the technology. We would like to do that in a future live stream. But the team is here. We also see like great energy around a lot of AI builders on Linea, who would like to build AI agents, contribute to some of this technology that can decentralize AI as well as decentralize infrastructure for AI agents. So that's the focus. With that focus, as part of this live stream, we would like to announce a working group that we are cooking
Oh, yeah.
behind the scenes, which we will release a Telegram group that you could all be part of. There will
Yes.
be initiatives to support AI builders, and there's no doubt I foresee Linea as a home for AI agents and decentralized AI, and we are going to have a lot more power supporting this. Yeah.
I'll send the link out.
That's all. Yeah, cool. That's all super exciting, Chef. I mean, I know I think AI is one of like kind of the great centralizing threats of our time. You just like laid out a lot
Yes.
of the ways why, and kind of, I mean, what brought me into Web3 is seeing kind of the centralizing power of big tech, of Google and of all these like huge companies that like have a stranglehold on our data and our information, and like AI just like kicks that up to 1,000. And so
I
like
know.
these projects are like super important.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure, right? Because for a decade or so, we were actually pointing out to the problem that internet got centralized in the past and we couldn't do anything about it. And we have Web3 now. But AI is getting centralized in front of our eyes at this point of time. And it's much more dangerous for AI to be centralized. and there's an opportunity for us to fix it with all the crypto economic tools we have today. So I think it's a huge opportunity. It's the right time, and we need to act on it. So excited to play our part in this moment of decentralizing AI.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, I think of AI stuff and I'm like, ooh, this is like so scary how much information they have and like the crazy things that people can do with it. So let's decentralize AI. It's like for our generation, for the future generations, like, I don't know. It's one of those like weird things that like freaks me out if I think too much about it, like the fourth dimension, you think too much about it, it freaks you out. Centralized AI actually keeps me up at night. And I like Chef, I
Welcome
remember you.
to
Yeah.
Susie's Nightmares, and we end the show with our favorite segment, Susie's Nightmares.
Susie's Nightmares. But it's like a real thing. And I think what Chef said earlier, like the Black Swan moment, it's like, do you guys know the story of the 4-minute mile? Eric, I think I talked to you about this. The 4-minute mile. Okay, this is like an analogy. I swear it's going to make sense. Okay, so before anyone could run a 4-minute mile, everyone, like they studied this from like the late 1800s. Scientists were like, it's impossible to run a 4-minute mile. And nobody believed it could happen. And then one guy, right? He's from like England, I think. He
England,
like
yeah.
broke
Roger
the
Bannister.
4-minute mile. That's right. Bannister. Okay. And he was like in the 50s or something. It wasn't even that long ago. And he broke the 4-minute mile. And people, after that happened, one guy broke the 4-minute mile. And then literally everybody did it. And I think it was like 11 years later,
I mean,
somebody broke
I'm
a
still working
3-minute
on
mile.
it, but
Yeah. I can't even break an 8-minute mile. Let's be real. Yeah.
like, or I'm gonna fact
Also,
check you. Look, I'm gonna fact check you on that one, Susie, because like I'm a runner and I don't think we've got the 3-minute mile yet, but
I think that
it
happened.
is down. Oh man,
Wait,
we
I think so.
I don't think so.
What should we bet? Should we bet some backs on? The point is what we were saying is like nobody thinks they could take down the major chat GPTs. Nobody thinks they could like have a chance against big AI. And then DeepSeek comes on and is like, pew, 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 right? And then they did it. And so like what Chef was saying is like everyone feels like it's this moment where they're like, if that guy can do it, I can do it too. My 4-minute mile.
I mean, well,
analogy
this is
sucked, maybe.
this is kind of the classic tale of disruption, which I mean is something that like people
Yeah.
actually study and write books about. Look up a dude, I think his name's Clayton Christensen, and he was writing books about this like over 20 years ago. Like just kind of the way humans are, like you create a moat or you like control something, you capture something, and like to do that and not get lazy is like almost impossible. And like
Yeah.
once you get lazy, somebody more motivated is going to come in and disrupt it and make it better. And the folks at Uber know what I'm talking about, and the folks
Yeah.
at Ethereum know what I'm talking about.
The folks at Ethereum do know. One thing also that Chef said before, I guess he was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He just left. I love it. But one thing I talked about on the call is he was talking about how like AI really isn't an industry, which he feels is like controversial, but he feels it's like it's a tool that will create more wealth within certain industries. And like an example he used is like GPS. Like GPS isn't really, there he is, isn't really an industry. Chef, I'm stealing your story, but GPS wasn't really an industry. But then like because GPS like came about and people started using it everywhere, Uber then was able to basically create this major disruptive company and totally disrupt like the taxi industry or like because of GPS. And so Chef was saying when I talked to him earlier, the same thing about AI. We're like, AI will bring something to industries that we don't even know what's going to happen. But because they have this crazy tool, people are going to invent things like we didn't even know that we could invent, and then they'll happen. We'll be like, oh yeah, that was such a good idea. Like Uber, like it happened. Everyone's like, oh yeah, that's such a good idea, But I think that's really interesting.
And the GPS example is really interesting because GPS only exists basically because we were scared shitless that the Russians were going to get to the moon and not get to the moon, but like get to space and put missiles in space and like win the space race. And so like that fear and that the space race is what created GPS.
Wow.
And like in a way, like the same thing's going on right now because now we have like an AI race between global powers, right? And like I think that AI race might create some really interesting things and innovations within crypto. Yeah.
Or
Well, it
create
did
like
with an AI.
yeah, like Sorry, go ahead.
Like it's gonna, because it's inspiring people like Chef to get involved and to create new solutions for the problems that they see, and then those solutions that we create in crypto are going to lead to like whatever the Uber is that we use crypto for 20 years down the road when we're all living our lives on Linea. Like that all starts
Yeah.
today. Like that, I think that's why they're calling it the Sputnik moment.
Yeah. It's good. Chef, any comments? I just maybe stole your thunder.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
you were
So
gone.
I was looking at it two ways. I think one is there's an unfair advantage today for large companies to build models, and they have an unfair advantage in doing so. But there's going to be a shift from the models to applied AI, and that's what I was talking about. Where I think there's an opportunity even for a single dev to actually build like a kick-ass agent and be really successful at it, which is very interesting. We're going to see that soon. The GPS analogy is this, right? So today we can actually talk about, okay, this is how AI is going to disrupt travel industry. This is how it's going to disrupt healthcare. This is going to disrupt maybe financial services. But after that point, we are also going to see, I think, few startups and applications that we cannot imagine now. So for that, I was using the GPS analogy. That before GPS based applications came in, we could never imagine Uber, right? We could never imagine like booking a taxi and it showing up in front of us before mobiles actually came into our hands. So we're going to see such movement as well, where there are going to be AI native applications, AI native builders who are going to build stuff which we cannot even imagine, right? So first step is existing industries getting disrupted, and then new stuff is getting formed. So what I meant when I say AI is not an industry today yet, it's because no single company, not every company in the world today has an AI budget, right? So there's no industry as such yet today. The technology is there today. The industry is going to get formed over time. So there's a delta between technology to actual industry, and that's where is the opportunity for builders, right, to come and use the technology and create the industry. So that's what I meant when I say the industry. There's no industry today. Yes, there's an industry in terms of companies raising capital or companies building models, but it's still not a prevalent industry as such. It's a technology today. It's going to become industry over time, and that's the opportunity for anyone to get involved. And there's also an argument that with all the rise of AI tools and all of this, we are going to start seeing like companies shrink in size. When I say shrink in size, I'm not talking about unemployment and stuff, people going out of job. I'm talking about opportunity for single people, single person companies, two people companies to actually excel at it, right? Which is crazy. Like today, you can actually design stuff. You can even write code. Soon, you will be able to do it in much more reliable way. So, yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity for you to build. It's like AI is like an army that you can have, that you can put to use on any idea you have. So the time to production from an idea to actually launching stuff will significantly come down. It's not only for products and technology stuff. It can also be applied to creative stuff. I think we're going to see like films that will get made over time, where the idea from you writing a script, you don't even have to shoot stuff. You could just write script, write prompts, and probably you're going to see like a movie being made by 1-2 people teams as well. So that tech will also be available. I think guys from Stable Diffusion were talking about it. We're not far away from that. We're already seeing glimpses of it, but I think the next few years is going to be crazy with respect to AI. It's moving so fast.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited to be part of this revolution.
Yeah, you're building.
Cool.
You've been in AI for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I am on this side of AI. I believe in the convergence of AI crypto because of this particular fundamental analogy, right? So I've been in crypto for a very long time, and when AI came in, I felt like these are two industries that are like two edges of knife, I would say, like where AI is exciting, but it doesn't have trust. When I say it doesn't have trust, people can't trust everything that's happening around AI. It's actually antitrust kind of technology, where crypto is all about trust. And I think crypto can actually fix the problems that AI has. Like a simple example is, as AI becomes prevalent, I don't think we can trust any content on internet. We don't know who is posting what. Obviously, we're already seeing that. It's going to play a huge role in how politics is going to shape up, how information itself is going to shape up, right? We don't know what to
Right.
trust on internet. Now, how will you bring trust to that? I think the only way you could do that is by bringing blockchain into play, by bringing ID into play, by bringing provenance of who is doing what into play. Otherwise, anything we see on internet cannot be trusted, right? We are already, fake news is such a big problem today. So that,
Yeah.
and AI is only going to accelerate that, you know?
I've
So
spent a good part of the last 3 years trying to talk to journalists about this because that's the world I come out of, and it's man, it's a tough sell. Journalists are pretty resistant to any kind of new technology, and especially if you're pitching a new technology to counter the new technology, like brains start melting. But it's going to yeah, I think because the media is not really acting on this. I think we're entering a new era, like you're saying, Chef, of you can't trust what's before your eyes. Like don't trust anything. We are in a new era of peak cynicism. Get ready for it, folks. We're already there.
Guys, Pluto is in Aquarius. Do you know what that means? Wait,
You're having
this is
more
real.
nightmares. This is
real. Okay, but is
these are all
astrology real?
opportunities, Dizzy. So these are all opportunities, right? I think we can all keep these as opportunities where probably like put out a hackathon and people can come and solve these problems, build an agent that can have a mission to solve these things. There's so many problems in AI, I think, that crypto can actually solve. Yeah, and I can go on and on about it, guys. I think I don't want to bore you with all of this. We'll have so many sessions to talk about as we shape up Degens as a platform and support a lot of AI agent builders on Linea. Excited for this to happen, and excited that we're all living at a point where we have a chance to fix AI. Yeah, it is the next internet. So fixing AI means fixing the future of internet.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, Jeff, filling us with your AI knowledge. I think it's like 1 o'clock in the morning where you are, so thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much. Look forward to
Thank you, Susie.
more
Thank you, Eric.
conversation.
Thank you.
And
Eric.
like I think we need to go back to Pluto and Aquarius. Like what?
Oh my God. So I'm a female, which means that like I don't believe in astrology, but I do believe in astrology, but I don't, but like maybe it's real, you know? Like you hear someone's a certain sign and you're like, that's real. I don't know. It's weird. But Pluto and Aquarius, hold on to your butts, as Samuel L. Jackson says in Jurassic Park. Because Pluto takes so long to go around the sun. Obviously, it's like 180 something years. I don't know how long it is. You guys can fact check me. It's like a long time. It's like 150 plus years. So Pluto is in Aquarius for 20 years almost. And it's literally when civilizations burn to the ground. Like it crumbles.
Okay.
This is what my nightmares are about. No, it's like basically like a rebuilding time. So like everything burnt, like civilizations like burn to the ground, but then you realize what's important, and that's community. So there's this like community rainbow at the end. But it's like, yeah, it's like shit gets real, and then people are like, this isn't good, and then they realize what's important. But it's for 20 years. So
it lasts for 20 years. Interesting. Yeah,
I think it's like 19.
I'm curious how often that happens, because there's like there's all these different like cycles in history that people like study and have like theories around, and they all are kind of lining up to like this period in history is the collapse, like the fourth turning, Cleodynamics, and apparently Pluto all seem to be predicting this. So I'd be curious if that's kind of the same similar 80 to 100 year cycle. But
it's probably not real, but it's fun to talk about. I mean, not civilizations burning in the ground, but like it's astrology is like it's fun to dabble. I don't do crystals, I draw a line somewhere. It's like dabble in astrology. One thing I will say about this AI thing, about this AI thing though, crypto has been accused of not solving problems. We just are like, let's just build random stuff like meme coins and it's fun. So like, real world problems. If crypto could solve a huge real world problem like decentralized AI, that would be huge for us.
And I would say essential.
Essential, yeah.
So
but also
jump
cool.
in that working group. If all of humanity could jump in Chef's working group, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. It's a private group right now, but I can make it public because I made it. But yeah, so that's it. I know we're super over time, but we have so much stuff happening next week. I'm not even going to tell you about it because it would take like 5 more minutes. So thank you guys for listening, especially Pluto and Aquarius. I think that's the most important thing you can take away from this.
Exactly. Ride the G chair,
Just
y'all.
kidding.
Ride the G chair.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week. See you next week.